This helmet is the only thing separating a player from life-altering brain damage.
Here's a perfect pour. Oh my goodness. Here's another one. Watch out.
Yet most fans have no idea what's really inside. A single NFL helmet costs $1,500, undergoes 24 safety tests, and contains technology developed by NASA. Behind closed doors at Riddell's factory, engineers use military-grade polymers, impact sensors that measure 1/100th of a G-force, and a proprietary foam that took 15 years to perfect. Today, we're revealing the life-saving secrets inside football helmets that players trust with their lives, and why Tom Brady says modern helmets feel like wearing a pillow compared to what we used to have. Welcome back to Who Creates What, where we dive into the fascinating stories behind the products you love and the creators who make them happen. All right, here's a wild fact. Football helmets weren't always the sleek, high-tech lifesavers they are today. Back in the day, players protected their heads with, wait for it, leather hats. Yeah, because nothing says safety like a piece of cowhide between your brain and a 250-pound linebacker.
Now watch him take it. Right on the old beam.
Fast forward to today, and we've got helmets that can absorb bone-crushing impacts, track concussions,
actually feel the pain, you just feel pressure,
and still look cooler than your limited edition sneakers. But how did we get from flimsy leather caps to futuristic brain armor? Let's dive into the science, the tech, and the downright mind-blowing process of how football helmets are made to save lives.
It's his magical material.
Every game day, football players collide like human wrecking balls, faster, harder, and more intense than ever before.
Stumbling
And the only thing standing between their brains and disaster? A helmet. But here's the wild part. These helmets aren't just tough plastic. They're engineered with cutting-edge tech to survive hits stronger than a car crash. So how do you turn raw materials into a life-saving helmet that can handle the hardest tackles?
Are you ready for some football?
Let's dive into the fascinating world of football helmet manufacturing. And trust me, it's way cooler than you think. Okay, confession time. When I first learned how football helmets are made, I thought it was just plastic and some padding. Oh, how wrong I was. These things are like mini fortresses for your head, and the amount of science and precision that goes into each one is wild. You're running across the field, the crowd's cheering. Then out of nowhere, a linebacker the size of a small truck is coming right at you. What's protecting your skull from turning into mashed potatoes? That helmet. And here's the crazy part. It's made from the same stuff as bulletproof glass. Yeah, the outer shell isn't just tough, it's practically superhero armor. It all starts with these tiny plastic beads called polycarbonate. This stuff is so strong it can stop a bullet and protect bank vaults. And in football, where hits can pack the force of a car crash, you need that kind of muscle. So how do you turn plastic beads into something that can survive a helmet-to-helmet collision? It's not magic, but it's close. First, they heat the polycarbonate to 500 degrees Fahrenheit, hot enough to melt steel. This molten plastic gets injected into a helmet mold under intense pressure. So much pressure it could crush a watermelon like a paper cup. In about 60 seconds, it hardens into that iconic helmet shape. And this thing isn't just for show, it's built to take a beating. Every helmet is tested to absorb over 2,000 pounds of force. That's like dropping a grand piano on your head and walking it off. Without a helmet? Yeah, good luck with that. But it doesn't stop there. These helmets are designed to hold up in any condition, whether it's a sweltering summer game or a freezing playoff night, the shell stays rock solid. And the testing? Brutal.
How else do you figure out if the helmet will protect someone if you don't do this?
They slam helmets from every angle, front, back, sides, to make sure they can handle anything the game throws at them. If it doesn't pass, it's straight to the trash. No exceptions. Watching these helmets being made is weirdly satisfying. It's like seeing a sculptor at work, except their masterpiece saves lives on the field. So, the next time you see a player take a bone-crushing hit and pop right back up, remember, it's not just plastic on their head. It's a high-tech shield, keeping the game safer, one play at a time.
over the middle, and it is Robbie Anderson, and oh, what a hit!
The polycarbonate shell? That's the armor, but inside, that's where the real magic happens. Getting hit by a freight train sounds unbearable, right? But what if you barely felt it? That's the job of the padding inside a football helmet. It's not just there for comfort. It's engineered to slow down impacts before they rattle your brain. And trust me, today's helmets, whole different ball game. They're lined with multi-layered foam like a personal bodyguard for your skull. This foam absorbs, redirects, and softens the blow. And it's not just any foam. Some helmets use thermoplastic urethane, also known as TPU. Fancy name for a material tough enough to handle repeated hits without breaking down. But here's where it gets even cooler. Some helmets have air bladders inside. Yeah, actual air pockets that custom fit to a player's head. Think luxury memory foam pillow. If that pillow could survive a 300-pound defensive tackle. Why does that matter? Because every player's head is uniquely shaped like snowflakes, but with more concussions to prevent. These air bladders keep the helmet snug, so it doesn't shift during impact. And when you're charging full speed, the last thing you want is your helmet twisting while your head stays put. Yikes! And check this out. Some cutting-edge helmets have smart padding that changes shape on impact. It's called Rheon technology. Soft when you're still, but the second it feels pressure, it hardens to absorb the hit. Like the padding saying, "Nice try, physics, not today." Watching these helmets get made? It's like a mad scientist's lab. Machines inject precise layers of foam into molds, and if anything's even slightly off, that helmet's toast. On the field, precision equals protection. And if you're still not impressed, get this. Modern helmet padding can cut concussion risks by up to 50%. That's right, half the danger, thanks to some seriously smart, squishy tech. So, next time you see a player brush off a monster tackle and jog back to the huddle, it's not just toughness, it's the padding, silently saving the day, one hit at a time. And here's the wildest part, we're just getting started. Ah, the face mask. You probably think it's just there to block stray elbows or keep you from tasting turf. But here's the kicker. This thing is made from titanium alloy, the same lightweight metal used in spacecraft. So yeah, there's a little bit of rocket science on every player's face. And it's not just one size fits all. Linemen? They get heavy-duty cages because they're basically human bulldozers, smashing through anything in their way. Quarterbacks? Their masks are lighter with wider openings so they can spot that open receiver without feeling like they're peeking through prison bars. It's kind of like choosing between a medieval knight's helmet and a superhero mask, both tough, but built for totally different missions. And get this, before a face mask even touches the field, it goes through some serious torture testing. High-speed machines bend, twist, and smack it from every angle, making sure it won't snap under pressure. Because when a 300-pound linebacker is charging at your face, oops isn't an option. Oh, and for that perfect finish, every mask is coated in a special anti-corrosion layer, so whether it's a rainy game day or a freezing playoff showdown, your face guard isn't rusting out like an old bike. So next time you see a player shake off a hit and flash a smile through that cage, just remember, it's not just there for looks. It's high-tech armor designed to keep them safe and keep the game rolling. Alright, buckle up, because this part is where things get intense. Before a football helmet ever touches the field, it goes through tests so brutal you'd think it owed someone money. Seriously, these helmets get pummeled, smashed, and walloped like they insulted the testing machine's mother. Imagine testing a knight's armor by throwing it at a wall. That's the kind of no-holds-barred approach we're talking about. Helmets are strapped onto head forms, basically crash test dummies for helmets, and dropped onto solid steel anvils from different heights. The goal? Simulate the bone-jarring hits players take every Sunday. And this isn't just for fun. Each helmet has to pass the severity index test, which measures how much impact force it absorbs. If the helmet doesn't meet the standard, game over. Only the best helmets make it out of the lab and onto the gridiron.
My severity index is 2,909.
He's dead.
He's dead, he's got a skull fracture.
But it gets even smarter. Modern testing is position-specific, because a quarterback dodging blitzes faces different risks than a lineman bulldozing through the trenches. So, helmets are tested for real-world collisions unique to each position. Custom protection for every player, because one size definitely doesn't fit all. Think these helmets get a break? Not a chance. They're also exposed to extreme temperatures from blazing summer heat to freezing winter chills to make sure they stay tough no matter the weather, because whether it's 100 degrees or 10 below, that helmet's gotta hold the line. I gotta say, watching these tests is oddly satisfying. Picture a robotic arm delivering a knockout punch, sending the helmet flying onto an anvil like it's in a slow-motion action scene. And knowing these helmets take hundreds of hits before game day? Yeah, that's pretty comforting. So, the next time you see a player shake off a monster hit and jog back to the huddle, remember that helmet's been through a battlefield long before the first whistle blew. Alright, now comes the fun part, customization. NFL players don't just stroll into a store and grab helmets off the shelf like the rest of us. Nope, these helmets are tailor-made to fit their heads perfectly, down to every bump and curve. It's like getting a custom suit if that suit could survive a truck hitting you at full speed. Some helmets are packed with impact sensors that track every single hit in real time. If a player gets rocked too hard, these sensors send instant alerts to the medical team. Basically, the helmet snitches for your own good. Not everyone's buying into the tech, though. Some players cling to their old helmets like their family heirlooms, swearing they're lucky. And hey, if that crusty helmet helps you dodge a 300-pound linebacker, who's arguing? And let's not forget the style factor. These helmets aren't just about safety, they're a whole fashion statement. We're talking custom paint jobs, team logos, tinted visors. Some of these lids have more drip than a sneaker drop. By the time a helmet hits the field, it's not just equipment. It's a battle-ready masterpiece built to protect a player's most valuable asset, their brain. And when you see someone take a massive hit and pop back up, thank the helmet. So, the next time you see a player bounce back from a bone-crushing tackle, just know some poor helmet went through a robotic smackdown so they wouldn't have to. Honestly, these helmets take more hits in a day than most of us do in a lifetime. Tough life, huh? If you thought football helmets were tough, wait until you see what it takes to make a chocolate bar survive the factory floor. Click here to uncover the sweet but surprisingly intense world of chocolate production. Trust me, it's not all sugar and rainbows.